Welcome to Dynamic Power Flow. Today's props, we will use 2 blocks, 1 strap. It doesn't have to be a super long strap. You could use a belt that's about 2.5 feet long or so, should be fine. A rolled up towel or some cushion for your knee might come in handy. And today we will be working with Hanumanasana. And this might be familiar to you as the front split or the side split with one leg extended forward and one leg extended behind. Something that's important to remember when we're working with flexibility are our first 2 yamas, which are ahimsa and satya. You guys have all heard me talk about these often. Ahimsa, non-harming in all ways. Make sure that your thoughts and your actions are both non-harming to yourself in today's practice. Today might be different than yesterday. Tomorrow you might not be as flexible as you were today. Let's try to release any of those expectations and be very, very peaceful with our beings. As well as satya, which is truthfulness, and that's something that does not actually come as naturally as it might seem. So allow yourself to feel into your own truth in the here and now, not yesterday and not later on. And for today's practice, we will begin in child's pose. So if you would like to bring a block to cushion your forehead, you can take one with you. You can take your knees wide if you would like, keeping the toes touching, or if you want to keep those knees narrow and bring more of a quad stretch into this opening meditation. Sitting back on the heels and walking those palms forward, maybe finding your block under your forehead, or your forehead can come to the mat. And you can go ahead and close down your eyes. Just arrive in your space here. Give yourself some time to settle in, making any adjustments. Your hip flexors are starting to compress. Maybe you walk your fingers around to hold onto your feet. Wherever you are, begin to notice your breath. Allow the inhale to bring you into your present moment. And your exhale to empty away any thoughts not pertaining to here and now. And if you'd like to take the mantra as you inhale, I arrive in my body. And as you exhale, I am here. If you'd like to engage Ujjayi breath for today's practice to help build heat, you can tense up the muscles in the back of the throat, keeping the mouth soft and the jaw relaxed, closing the lips, breathing through the nose, steady, smooth breaths that you can hear almost like the ocean with those tensed up muscles. Ujjayi breath in, I arrive in my body. Ujjayi breath out, I am here. And as we arrive in our space, I'd like to welcome you in this present moment to feel safe. And you can repeat to yourself, in this moment, I feel safe. Ujjayi breath in, Ujjayi breath out. And when you're ready, we can come up to tabletop, pressing into the palms. Lifting the spine into a straight line. Taking your time to arrive here You can rock the hips back and forth if you'd like. Maybe make some circles with your shoulders and your hips. Start to awaken those wrists. Make sure you're pressing into the mat with your pointer finger knuckle and your thumb knuckle as you do this. And reverse that current going both directions. And maybe pause in the center, and we can splay our ribs out to the left and feel that left side body opening as you curl in on the right side, and switching to press the ribs out to the right, expanding through that right side body. And coming back to neutral, tabletop. We'll step those palms out just a little bit in front, tucking the toes. We're gonna work our way up to downward dog very slowly here. We'll exhale completely in tabletop, toes tucked. With your inhale, gently lift your knees. And with the exhale, lift the pelvis, straightening the legs, keeping those heels lifted as you extend through your spine. And eventually lowering one heel at a time to pedal through your feet. Finding the expansion through the backs of your legs. And continuing the engagement through your pointer finger knuckle and thumb knuckle. Eventually settling those heels back, finding your Ujjayi breath. Tailbone lifted high into the sky. Breathing here. We'll take an inhale together. And with your exhale, come up high onto the toes, looking forward, and using your entire inhale, walking the feet up to the palms. And with your exhale, letting that crown fall, you can take a soft bend to the knees. And we'll just rock the hips back and forth, maybe trace circles around your feet. And allow yourself to ground down, making a very secure, solid foundation, drawing around your feet, maybe bringing hands to opposite elbows and just dangling, rocking the head back and forth, nodding, loosening through that neck. And eventually finding stillness, maybe straightening through your legs. And find your palms on the floor with an exhale. And with your inhale, lift the chest. Take the gaze out on the floor in front of you, maybe 3 or 4 feet. Work into your half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. The palms can be on the thighs, pressing in. Engage through those quads, maybe shift your weight forward over your toes. Inhale here, pulling your chest through your shoulders. And with your exhale, drop the crown, drop the palms, Uttanasana, forward fold. With your inhale, draw those palms back up the shins for a half lift. Maybe the gaze lifts a little further. Exhale, drop that skull. This time we'll bend into the knees and slowly roll the body up, taking the palms overhead, high mountain, Urdhva Hastasana. And with your exhale, chest forward, hips back, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhaling for your half lift, gaze can lift a little higher. Exhaling for the forward fold. Root to rise with your inhale. Palms come up over the head. Scoop up all that prana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last time, ground down through those feet. Scoop those arms up overhead. High mountain. And this time we'll come down, drawing a line with the palms between the eyes, coming to Tadasana. Mountain pose with our palms at heart center. We'll just take a moment here if you'd like to soften your gaze or even close the eyes. Pressing each finger into the opposite finger, engaging through your wrists, and eventually you'll feel that in your triceps and biceps and in your shoulder girdle. Inhale to lift the chest into those palms, engaging through the entire body. Lift and spread your toes, lowering them one at a time if you can. Lifting through the knees to engage the quads. Almost like you're zipping a zipper up your spine. Reconnecting all these muscles, knitting those ribs in, taking some Ujjayi breaths here in mountain pose. We'll take an inhale together and exhale completely. And with your inhale, scooping those arms up overhead. And exhale, heart forward, chest back, Uttanasana. Inhale for your half lift. This time with your exhale, we'll plant those hands and take a step back into plank. We'll take a pause here in plank, ensuring that your wrists are under your shoulders. Your pointer fingers are pointing forward or maybe a little bit open. Pressing through the heels, pressing through the pointer finger knuckles. Take another breath here. And with your exhale, we'll lower chest and chin and then your knees. Keeping those elbows tucked in. With your inhale, we'll straighten those legs, press through the feet, and lift the chest gently. Exhale to lower the forehead to the mat. Take a moment here to just listen to your heartbeat, finding your hips square on the ground, feeling the thigh bones coming straight out of your pelvis, making sure they're not too wide behind you. Legs are fully engaged, pressing those tops of the feet into the mat, bringing the palms under the shoulders. Go through some Cobra Rolls here. Don't need to lift the gaze too high yet. Just inhale to lift the chest and exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Engaging the hips, engaging the legs, feeling it in the core with your breath. Lifting the gaze a bit higher each time. Eventually, if you'd like to walk the palms back to the rib cage, engaging through the thighs, through the tops of the feet, pressing the mat away with your inhale, lifting the body, pressing through those pointer finger knuckles, upward facing dog. We'll take a breath here. Inhale, and as you exhale, lifting the pelvis, lifting the tailbone, coming into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And with your exhale, we'll lower our knees to the mat and find tabletop. Now that we're nice and warmed up, we'll bring our weight pressing into the feet, pressing into the palms. Focus that weight in the right foot and the left palm, and gently allow the left foot to lift behind you and flex those toes pointing down. We'll take the right palm outwards in front of us. The gaze can be down at the mat in front of you, feeling a nice long spine through your crown, squaring those hips and shoulders. We'll take another breath here, and with your exhale, bend that elbow, bend the knee, and let them touch. And with your inhale, we'll plant that hand and open the knee to the side. Exhale, tuck the knee back into the nose. Inhale, extend the left heel behind, picking up the right hand again. We'll breathe here. Take that 2 more times. Inhale, extending through our bird dog. Exhale, touch the elbow to the knee. Inhale, open that knee nice and wide. Exhale, tuck the knee back into the chest. Inhale, extend the right arm and the left heel back. Exhale, tuck the elbow to the knee. Inhale, open it up to the side. Exhale, tuck it back in. Inhale, extend. And with your exhale, we'll lower that knee back and that hand back down, finding tabletop. Go ahead and rock those hips back and forth. Maybe draw some circles again. Releasing any tension in that left wrist and right hip. And we'll go ahead and take that on the other side. So bringing all of your weight into your right hand and your left foot. We'll bring it so strong, foundation, that we lift our right heel straight back, pointing those toes down, squaring the hips, lifting the left hand forward, keeping the nice long spine, feeling the extension from the middle finger out through the heel of the foot. Breathing here. Inhale, and with your exhale, tucking that knee to the elbow. And again, with your inhale, we'll open that knee to the side, placing the hand on the mat. Exhale to tuck the knee back into the nose. Inhale to extend behind you. Exhale, tucking the knee to the elbow. Inhale, open it up to the side. Exhale, bring it back to the center. Inhale to extend behind you, find that straight line. Exhale, let those knees and elbows touch. Open it up to the side. Bring it back to the middle. Last time, extend it straight behind you. We'll take a pause here. Inhale. And with your exhale, bring that left hand to the mat, right knee to the mat, and push the hips back for child's pose, Balasana. We'll keep our hands engaged. So pressing into the fingertips. Maybe walking through the wrists a little bit here, maybe rolling through your shoulders. Maybe even shifting the hips left and right. A nice fluid practice as we begin to build heat. And if you've lost your Ujjayi breath, you're welcome to bring that back while we're here in Balasana. And when you're ready, with your inhale, we'll bring the weight back into the palms, through tabletop, tuck those toes and lift the hips. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here, grounding down through those hands. Tucking the elbows under so you're turning the creases forward as you can. Lifting the tailbone. Feel that zipper up your spine. With each breath, pulling the chest closer to the toes. Keeping a nice soft neck. Keeping a nice pendulous cervical spine. And when you're ready, we'll take our right heel up into the sky. It doesn't have to come up too high. Keep those toes pointing straight down. Take an extra breath here. With your exhale, tuck that right knee to the nose and eventually step it in between the palms and lower the left knee to the ground. Go ahead and reach for your blocks here. As we find Anjanayasana, Now, blocks can get a bad rap in yoga. It can kind of seem like, oh, that's a stepping stone. But actually, we can use them to expand our practice. They don't have to just be a crutch. And even if they are, you know, that's way safer than trying to get into some of these postures without them. You can expand through your spine by pressing those blocks away. Find a nice long spine with your left leg extending behind you. Finding a nice deep Anjanayasana. Square those hips up, square those shoulders over to that right knee. Breathe here. Long spine. One more breath. Nice deep lunge. Full body engagement. With your exhale, we'll press the hips back. Bend into the left knee, straighten the right knee, and walk your blocks back next to your hips. Find that long spine again. Trying not to hunch over like this. We want to find a nice long spine so that we can work right directly into that pelvic joint, that SI joint. Long spine, breathing here. Ardha Hanumanasana. And with your exhale, we'll bring those hips forward. And you're welcome to keep one block in front of you. We'll take an inhale to take those arms up overhead if you feel comfortable. And an exhale, we'll plant the hands inside the right foot, coming up to the ball of the back foot, rotating that heel down on the left ankle, on the left heel, and walking our palms around for Ardha Skandasana, or just Skandasana. Find your half squat here, lifting through your hips. Breathe. And with your exhale, finding those hands back on the mat or the block, rotating back to the front of your mat, bending into the right knee, keeping the left leg straight if you'd like, and we'll come into Crescent Lunge. Breathing here. If you'd like to take the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, plant those hands and we'll step the right foot back into plank. We'll take a breath here, finding that engagement through the upper body and the core. And go through your vinyasa if you'd like to chaturanga, or you can exhale to lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale for Cobra or your choice of back bend. And exhale to come up to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, taking some notes, bringing your attention back to your breath and your body. If you'd like to inhale, and I arrive in my body, and exhale, I am here. And with your next inhale, we'll lift the left heel up behind you, keeping those toes flexed down, squaring through your hips and your shoulders. Take a nice, slow, smooth breath. And with your exhale, tuck that left knee into the chin, plant the foot between the hands, and lower the right knee down. Untucking those toes, bringing the blocks back underneath your shoulders to find a nice, deep, low lunge, Anjanayasana, pulling the chest through, elongating that spine, feeling nice and tall from the crown all the way to that back big toe, a nice long straight line. Breathe here, keeping that spine zipped up, keeping the lower foot engaged. And with your exhale, we'll shift the hips back, straightening the left leg, bending into the right, bringing the blocks next to the hips or wherever they feel most comfortable, and finding a nice long spine here. Breathing through the crown. Send some breath back into that left hamstring. Nice long spine with each inhale. And in this moment, I feel safe. And with your inhale, we'll pull those hips forward, bending into that left knee. You can keep one block handy if you would like it for your Skandasana. And we'll take an Anjanayasana Balance. If you feel nice and grounded, you can take an inhale to lift the arms up overhead. We'll take a breath here to lift through the pelvis, expanding the chest forward. Exhale, we'll land those hands both in front of the left foot, coming to the ball of the right foot and rotating the heel down. Lifting those toes and bending into the left knee. Coming to Anjali Mudra if you feel comfortable, or just holding onto the block or the floor. We'll take a deep, slow breath, lifting through the glutes. And with your exhale, planting those hands, shifting those hips back towards the left knee, bending into the left knee for Crescent Lunge. If you'd like to drop the right knee, you are more than welcome to do so. Finding our balance. If you bring your hands to your knees if you'd like, or lifting the palms up overhead. Taking a nice deep breath here. You got this. And we'll take an exhale to plant the hands around that left foot. Bring the left foot back to meet the right in plank. Take an inhale here. And with your exhale, we'll lower the knees and push the hips back. Take a little breather here in Balasana, child's pose. You're welcome to walk the palms around and hold on to your feet. And listening to the heartbeat, dial in. Listen to what your body has to say. There are secret messages hidden in our muscles. Or maybe not so secret. And when you're ready with your inhale, we'll bring those hands under the shoulder, pressing into the palms, lifting through tabletop, tucking the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Lowering the heels, lifting the pelvis. We'll go ahead with your inhale or with your exhale or whatever feels comfortable. We'll take that right heel, lifting the right heel into three-leg dog. Finding your squared hips. We'll inhale here. And with your exhale, tuck that knee to your nose, shift the weight over the wrists, and lift the heel and plant that foot. We'll find another Crescent Lunge. If you'd like to lower that left knee, you're welcome to. Finding your balance, nice and steady. Inhaling to lift the arms overhead. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to lift, straighten through the front leg, lower the back heel, and lower the chest forward. Pyramid pose. We'll take 3 long breaths here. Pressing into the palms. You can pull the palms behind you. Or if you'd like to hold onto that leg, wherever feels comfortable. Feeling that expansion across the back of the right leg. We'll inhale, and with your exhale, turning the left heel back to come to the ball of the left foot, bending into the right knee, coming through your lunge. We'll go ahead and lower the left knee down. And you can take a nice wide Anjanayasana now that we're nice and warmed up. Sinking those hips. Try not to sink into your hips. Lift through the pelvis so that almost like you have a string pulling you up out of your hips. But at the same time, your hips are still pulling forward to expand through your back leg. Anjanayasana. And from here, we'll plant the left hand next to the right foot, bending into the left knee, tucking that heel as close into your glutes as you can, drawing a nice big rainbow circle with your right hand. See if you can reach back and grab for those toes. If not, that would have been a great time for me to cue your strap. So if you have your strap handy and you can wrap it around your toe, if you can't quite reach it, that's totally cool. We'll take a little twist here, finding a nice deep stretch across the quad of the left leg. Maybe splaying the right knee out even a little bit, almost like a lizard lunge. Finding where your body wants to go in this twist and pressing the ground away with the left palm. We'll take an inhale and exhale to let go of that foot. Bring the right palm to the outside of the right knee, tucking the left toes, lifting back through Crescent Lunge. Bring that right foot back for plank. We'll take an inhale here, and with your exhale, lift the hips up for downward facing dog. Straight back into it. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Finding your alignment. And with your inhale, lifting that left heel, keeping those toes flexed down, taking time to find your alignment. Breathe here. And with your exhale, we'll tuck that knee to the nose, shift the weight over the wrists, step forward into Crescent Lunge. Square up those hips, engage both feet to lift the shoulders over the hips, maybe bringing the hands over the head as well. Take a deep breath here. Really feel into all of your leg muscles. And on your next exhale, we'll straighten the front leg and lower the back heel and lower the chest towards that left leg. Letting the crown drop. The palms can find the mat wherever is comfortable. And see if you can lower that left hip down. We'll take a few breaths here, pulling the chest closer to the knee, closer to the shin, pulling the crown towards the toes, finding softness in the face. And remembering Ahimsa and Satya, your non-violent truth, non-harming. And when you're ready, we'll bend into that left knee. Plant the right hand next to the right foot, rotating the heel back in line and lowering the knee down. Finding a nice deep Anjanayasana on this side. Releasing those toes behind. Lifting through the pelvis as our hips want to pull our whole upper body down with this amazing grounding that we're doing. But we'll keep ourselves lifted, keep our core engaged, tuck that pelvis. Planting the right hand next to the left foot, bending into the right knee, drawing a nice big circle with that left palm all the way up and around, and maybe you can find those toes or the top of the left foot, or if you're using your strap, as long as you're feeling the stretch across the quad. Wherever you need to go to find that stretch, press that mat away with your right hand. Peer up into the left side of your space. Allow for your breath to bring expansion into your spine. Breathing here. One more inhale. And with your exhale, releasing the foot and untwisting. Bringing the palms to frame the left foot. Coming back through Crescent Lunge, lifting the right knee. Or if you'd like to keep the knees down for this plank, that's fine. Coming into plank of your choice. We'll take a breath here. And again, with your exhale, just lift the hips up high into the sky. Downward facing dog. We'll take 5 breaths. Engaging Ujjayi, softening through the face. Inhale, I arrive in my body. Exhale, I am here. We'll take an inhale together. And with your exhale, lower the knees. We'll come to tabletop. And from tabletop, we'll work our knees in opposite directions. So we'll step our right knee forward and our left knee back. And our right knee forward. And try to keep, we're coming into a version of pigeon pose here, but try not to open your front leg. Try to keep it in line with your pelvis, coming straight out of that hip socket. And if you're finding yourself really, really high up here, feel free to grab your block. Give yourself a little post and just find your position that's most comfortable in this parallel leg. And your back leg, if your knee is touching the ground, you can untuck those toes and maybe look over your right shoulder and see that your heel isn't laying down on the ground. Maybe almost inverting that left toe. And keeping those hips right on top of the heel, almost like you're sitting on your foot. We'll grab for our strap. And if you'd like to use a block to support as well, we'll take our strap around our left foot. Around our left heel, and bringing the strap in front of your body so that you can square it back up. As best as you can, finding your pigeon. I think it's probably easier for me to not use the strap. So after you get your knee into your strap and you're facing the front of your mat, we'll take a little exercise here. With our inhale, press into your foot and pull into your hand. And with your exhale, release. Inhale and press. Exhale, release. Inhale and press. We'll do this 3 more times. Press with your breath. Release. Really finding a deep stretch here. Feeling it in both of the legs. You're doing great. And just release that foot behind you. And you can allow your right heel to wiggle out. We'll find a nice comfortable pigeon pose. Lowering the elbows in front of the right knee. There might be some tension developing on that right leg. See if you can send some breath into that area. Keeping the back leg engaged, pointing through that toe or pressing through the ball of that back foot. When you're ready, we'll plant the hands under the shoulders. Wiggling the knees back closer together, we'll step that left knee back and tuck the right knee into tabletop. And just take a rock back and forth. Again, making some notes. How do those hips feel? I don't have the answer, only you do. We'll take that on the left side. So we'll bring that left knee forward and gently shifting the right knee back. sending the knees in opposite directions, but trying to keep a straight line coming from that pelvis. Again, if you'd like to take the block to support, that's fine. Or if you would like to grab your strap to hold the back foot, that's also fine. So with your right hand and your right foot, lifting the foot with the right hand will pull in using your bicep. Using your right bicep, pulling in and pressing away with your foot on your inhale, and with your exhale, release. Inhale to press and pull, and exhale to release. Woo! Really got to hold on to that core. Inhale to press and pull. Exhale, release. Inhale, pull. Really dig into those muscles and release. 2 more times. Pressing and pulling and release it. Last one. Press and pull and release. And we'll let that foot go behind you. And we'll walk that left knee back. And let's just walk it down to our belly. Take a little rest. You can make a pillow with your palms. Resting the third eye on your knuckles. Give yourself a little massage. Welcome in some intuition. And in this moment, I feel safe. And going forth with our truth and our non-harmful practice. When you're ready, we'll take the palms under the shoulders, pressing the earth away to lift the shoulders and the hips. And we will lift the right foot between the palms. Feel free to grab for your blocks here. And we'll walk that left knee back as far as you can and come onto the ball of that back foot so that you feel nice and strong, very, very, very supported. We'll go ahead and shift our hips back and flex through the right heel. Lower the shoulders as close to the leg as you can and square those hips out. Find a nice long spine with your breath. And when you're ready, if you're ready, understanding yourself and your body, let that heel slide forward and let the ball of the back foot slide back. We'll take a pause here. If you'd like to grab a block and tuck it under your pelvis for some support, that's fine. Go ahead and untuck those back toes, releasing the pelvis to the ground or to your block. Feeling engagement through both legs. Bring the hands to the hips and see if you can square them up to the front of your mat. We'll breathe here in Hanumanasana, wherever you are. I welcome you to love yourself. And inhale, I arrive in my body. Exhale, I am here. And planting the hands, lifting the hips gently, finding grace as you tuck the back toes and lift that knee closer and closer. And eventually you can pick up the right foot and let it join the left knee in tabletop. And we'll give those hips a little wiggle. You guys are doing awesome. We'll take that on the other side before we cool it down. So, stepping the left foot between the hands. Finding your Anjanayasana, bringing those blocks on either side of the body, if you like them. Real deep stretch here. Find your squared hips, long spine. Tucking the back right toes, we'll bend into that back knee and straighten through the left knee, flexing the left toes up. using your blocks to help square your hips. And when you're ready, if you're ready, you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like, you can start to slide that heel out in front, keeping engagement through both legs. Maybe you bring your block under your pelvis and lowering down wherever you find yourself. I welcome you to love yourself. If you can, if you'd like, untuck those back toes and breathe. We'll square up our hips. Supported Hanumanasana. It's always nice to have a little support from the ground, from the block, from a friend, from ourself. Take a breath. Just square up your hips. In this moment, I feel safe. And with your exhale, finding the palms on the mat, shifting the hips. Gracefully, if you can, tucking those back toes, walking the knee up, and stepping the left knee back to find tabletop. Great job, awesome, you guys are so amazing. Let's cool it down. So from here, let's find a cobbler's pose or Balasana. We'll take a couple of Kanasanas here. So with your feet, palms to the bottom of your feet touching, let those knees fall nice and wide. Holding onto your feet, you can pull the chest forward. Inhale here. And with your exhale, let the crown fall towards your feet. You can find your elbows on your shins and maybe press the knees away. Maybe you're giving yourself a gentle foot massage, giving thanks to these tiny little bones that support our body weight throughout our practice and throughout our lives. Take a couple more breaths here, allowing your inhales and your exhales to become more smooth, releasing Ujjayi breath. When you're ready, we'll just very slowly roll up, taking your time to stack each vertebrae. Coming to upright. And we'll take one foot at a time with your big toe, lifting the heel and placing it away from you. This takes some of the pressure out of your hip joint if you do it with your hands. Might be a little louder. And we'll take Upavista Kanasta. Did I say that? I might have said that wrong. Wide leg forward folds. Letting the heels be nice and wide wherever you feel comfortable and walking the palms out in front of you. Maybe you bring a block out to catch your elbows. Maybe rest your chin on your hands. Keeping the toes slightly engaged. Breathing into those hips. And when you're ready, gently walking the palms to lift the shoulders over the pelvis. And we'll bring the feet together, bending at the knees so that the feet are on the mat. Using your core or holding the knees to lower the spine to the back to the mat. And we'll tuck the knees into the chest and just rock the hips back and forth. Maybe you like to draw circles with your knees in opposite directions. Seeing if there's any places that we didn't quite work into in our short hour together. And we'll take the knees into the armpits. Heels high into the sky. Baby, happy baby. Finding the palms on the thighs or on the calves, or maybe they're on your heels, outsides of the feet, holding big toes. Wherever you are, ensure that your hips and your shoulder blades are both flat on your mat. Feel that expansion through your spine. The nice wide knee, allowing the belly to expand between the thighs with your inhale. Maybe you straighten one leg at a time. And eventually we'll bring those heels back together and closing the knees and letting the feet land on the mat. We'll cross the right leg over the left and let the hips fall, let the knees fall to the left, coming into a spinal twist. So almost your whole body will lift over to the left here. And we'll take our left palm on the floor and press the shoulders square. Your knees might lift a little bit. That's okay. Make sure you're feeling this twist through the middle of your back, through your thoracic spine. Giving our internal organs a gentle massage as we cool down. When you're ready, gently shifting the knees back to center, uncrossing the leg, and we'll cross the left leg over the right and let the knees fall to the right, coming into the same twist on the other side. It might not feel the same-ish. So far that the shoulders pop up, but eventually you'll plant that right hand and press those shoulders back down. Maybe peering off to the left. That cervical spine, encouraging the last bit of twist in the upper spine here. With your inhale, I arrive in my body. And with your exhale, I am here. Sending some love down into our vital organs, this gentle internal massage, this twisted position. When you're ready, we'll gently lift the knees back to center, uncross the left leg. You can give a rock back and forth to those knees as you gently walk the feet down the mat, keeping that rock going all the way down, really working into your pelvis, really letting those lower back muscles release. And eventually you'll just be rocking your toes back and forth and finding stillness. Your arms can be as wide as you like, or if you'd like to find your palms resting on your belly, and take a nice grounding shavasana, a gentle tuck to the chin as you Let the eyes fall closed if they're not already. Allow yourself to release any tension that remains within your body. Take a full body check-in, starting with the big toe, softening across the pads of each individual toe, and the balls of the feet, and across the arches, as if sand is pouring through your body into the ground, releasing the calves and the quads, letting the hamstrings melt away. Feeling the pelvis heavy in the ground as you become one with the earth. Allow the softness to overcome your breath to the point where you don't even notice it. Softening the shoulders behind you. Noticing what's touching the fingers. Are you making contact with the earth or with your own body? Or maybe you're welcoming in the ether and the energy from the environment around you. Release any tension from your neck and jaw. Allowing your lips to touch gently. Feeling the tongue resting against the back of your teeth. Allow a small space between your upper jaw and your lower jaw. Relaxing the cheekbones. Relaxing the forehead. Feel your temples melt down the back of your head. See if you can soften the bridge of your nose. And allow your physical body to float in this cloud that you've created of softness. And in this moment, I feel safe. Bring attention back to your breath. Expand your lungs with your inhale. Arrive back into your body. Allow some movement in the fingertips. Maybe roll through your wrists, pointing your toes and flexing through the heels. Bending at the knees as you feel ready to wake up from your Shavasana. You can take the palms up overhead and give a little stretch to expand through the spine. With your knees bent, rocking them back and forth. And eventually falling to one side, letting the shoulders roll with you. Maybe you come into a tight little ball. And in your own time, whenever you're ready, with slow, gentle movement as if you're moving through water, pressing your body up to seated. And bringing the hands to touch at heart center. Feeling the thumbs press into the sternum as you lift the chest into your hands with your inhale. Gently tucking your chin with your exhale. Give gratitude to yourself for taking time to make space in your body for more self-love, non-harming truth. Thank you for joining me for Dynamic Power Flow. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I hope you feel amazing. Grab a drink of water and let me know if you have any questions or how you feel. See you soon.